Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Modded Megaquarium, the epic freshwater sandbox. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So last episode we started off with our Megaterrarium room here. This is going to be our creepy crawlies room, insects, arachnids, that kind of thing. And then later on we will do another room which is more to do with the reptiles. So all your lizards, the iguanas, that kind of thing. Don't exactly know what's in that pack yet, haven't had a look through it. I haven't actually added it into the mod list yet, but I know there is a brand new lizards pack out for Megaterrarium, which I am looking forward to in the future. So we have got some arachnids in here, we've got some beetles, we've got some moths and some butterflies, a couple of scorpions I think, a massive great big millipede which is as big as your arm, looks horrific, that kind of thing. All really nicely textured, all really nicely modelled, and it's a really good thing to see within a game like this, just to see how far you can actually take some of the mods in this. This is what I love about modded games, that you take the core concept of a game and you just take it in a completely different direction to what the original developer of the game was thinking, and you all make it work and you make it fit in with the overall design of the game as well. But today we're going to be working on this side, and thank you to Kadar, the maker of Megaterrarium. Between last episode and this, he has made a couple of changes to Megaterrarium to make it a lot easier to work with. The biggest of which is that now if you search for either Terrarium or Megaterrarium in the search bar up here, then you will actually have access to all of the various different stuff which is involved in the Megaterrarium mod. Now that does mean if you are creating mods, if you're not Kadar, and you are creating mods to work with Megaterrarium, then you've got to remember to add in the tag for Terrarium and Megaterrarium within the tags array, within the data file. Just something for mod authors to take note of there with this change within the core mod, the core Megaterrarium mod. So yeah, you can see we've got still quite a lot of different stuff to actually add into this room. We're going to add a fair few different tanks in here. I still think it's quite a good idea to have one tank for each creature, maybe having two different types of creature per tank for a couple of the tanks, but mostly I would quite like these to be one creature per tank. So there's going to be a lot of different tanks, a lot of different needs going around. On a couple of the tanks will actually have to be fairly big so that we can have some of the stuff of the more difficult creatures to house. I believe there was one that definitely needed a lot more than just the kind of 2x2 space that you get within one of these. So yeah, we're going to have a look first of all at what creatures we want in here, and then what kind of tanks. I'm going to have a look at that off camera very quickly now, just to give us a bit of a head start. Okay, so I've gone with the tanks first, and I think something like this might be a decent way to go about it. These are each a 3x3 tank with 2 tall, so it gives us enough space to be able to add some of the larger stuff in there. And also I do think that we should have at least one of the really big the waterfall tunnel tank type thing, which is here, this waterfall terrarium tunnel, which is, it's huge, and it's going to be far too big for, you know, a lot of the different stuff we've got here, but it might look pretty cool. I'm thinking that this tank would be better with in a reptile room, in a reptile house, but in this kind of creepy crawly room we may be able to do something with it. I think it would be a shame in this pack if we didn't do something with this tunnel tank, but it's working out whether this is the right room for it or not. We do have this deep terrarium and the the ground terrarium as well. This is essentially, the ground terrarium is essentially a lagoon tank, and this deep terrarium is like a lagoon tank but with the mega tank walls. So I'll just show you this quick and we'll actually bring it out to its maximum size, because we might be able to add some stuff into this which would look pretty cool. So if we add that into the centre there, that might be better than the big tank, the tunnel tank, for at least for this room. So we're going to have a look at next at what we actually want to put into these. I'm going to get rid of this for now. It was just so that you could actually see it, see how big it is and what's kind of involved in it. I mean, this is a big tank. It is 210, so we'll keep it in mind for once we've filled these in, what we actually want to do with the rest of it. But we do need gift shops, we do need a toilet block, we need all the amenities, we need places for talks, we need benches, all of that kind of stuff needs to go into this room as well. So we can't just fill it completely with tanks, which I suppose would be one way to go, but you'd miss out on everything else. So let's start with this tank over here. Each of these tanks is size 36 and is a depth of 2. And I believe each one of them will want to be what we would call a freshwater tank at the end of the day, in air quotes there, for the Megaterrarium stuff. So in here we have, for instance, we have this Christmas Island red crab, but we don't have anywhere yet. We have the Grey's leaf insect, we have Mega Stick. We have 2 different types of Mega Stick here. Now maybe, no, in fact we'd want 2 of these in there, which would be size 26. So yeah, we'll add 2 of these in, and then 2 of these into the next one. I think that'll probably be alright. So we'll go 2 of those into there. Again, we're not looking at making each of these things perfect for now. We'll just have to put up with all of this stuff being there, and then we will go back through and make sure all the food's there, and make sure all of the humidity's correct, make sure all of the needs are met, that kind of thing, all the heating. I don't think there's any chilling in this at the moment because it's based on the freshwater mechanics, but we shall see. So next one we want, we've got most of the beetles. I mean, we don't have the Grey's leaf insect, but I think that would be better in a tank which you can walk all the way around. These Hercules Beetles, they're only size 4 as well. I mean, we can put a couple of these in, but they may just be lost in one of these tanks. I want to try and keep the bigger stuff around the outside here. For instance, we have these African snails. They're going to be massive, so we'll put 2 of these African snails into there. That's size 3. We've got these giant Vigaroon. Now these are only size 3, but I think these do deserve their own kind of wall tank out here on the side. They have giant in their name, so I'm going to go with that for now. Cockroaches, no, I want these to be in their own little freestanding tank. We have the scorpion and we have the giant huntsman spider. The butterflies and the moths. So we do have 2 different types of moth here which we don't have anywhere else. We've got the glasswing butterfly, we've got the owl moth, and we have the atlas moth. So having in this blue morpho and the Rothschild's birdwing here into this tank, I think would be quite good. So we'll have those 2 in there. Now just making sure these 2 can actually be together. Yep, looks like they'll be fine. They just need their needs met, which will be okay. So the next one, we only got 3 of these left, and I know that we do have this giant Amazonian centipede here, which we don't have anywhere else. It is up to size 10, so we'll be able to have 2 of those in there. And now the last two, what could we go for? I mean, we've got all of those. I mean, we could put the two different types of cockroach in. We've got the Madagascar hissing cockroach and the giant cave cockroach. Both of them dislike light. It looks like they will actually work together. One gives science, one gives ecology, so yeah, these might actually be decent to put in together. Other than that, yeah, they'll both work together. So we're going to go for 4 of each, I think, in here. We can actually afford to go quite heavy on the amount of these. And you'd expect there to be a decent amount of them if they were so small in a terrarium this size. You would want a fair few of them. We don't have this giant Asian shield mantis either. We do. So will that work with this? So it is a bully. It is armoured. It's only size 3. You can only have one of them. And then these ones, yeah, they're pretty tame actually. They'll work quite easily. So if we have, and will it work with this? No, because this one is not armoured. Okay, so we would have to have the Christmas Island red crab in a different tank. So we will go for the Gray's leaf insect. And I think we will have 3 of those in there. And as well as that, oh, we don't have one of these Hercules Beetles either. Now, this will, yeah, this will work fine with everything else we have in there. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 of those, and we will have that mantis right there. Again, I just want to make sure now that we put all of these in, that these are going to be okay together. So yes, it looks like, you know, at first glance I can't see any reason why these wouldn't go together. They're not going to eat each other. There's no yellow triangles. These guys, these ones, they can't be housed with themselves, but there's only one of them in there, so that's okay. Everything else looks like it should be alright. I mean, we have Plant Destroyer here, so we're going to have to fill this with a decent amount of plant life. But other than that, yeah, I think all of this will be fine. So the first thing to add on to these, I think, will be the pumps. We're not going to worry about anything else for now. We're just going to worry about getting all of these warning signs gone. So we're going to go for the pumps first. We're still going to use this search tab up here. So we're going to go for the large pumps here. And I think having one there, we'll do this 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we would have another one going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a third one just connecting these two up. However, I will have a large pump. What I think I will actually do, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. We know that we're going to need 3 pumps in total here. So I'm just going to add in 3 pumps, or 3 tanks onto this one pump here. And then the next 3, we will have another large air pump going to here. Oh no, that won't actually do. It will have to be to here, which will go from this one to this one and to this one. But that will give us another tank out here, but we might want to add in. And then on this side as well, I'm going to add another large pump, which you can see the range on this means I could add a tank out here somewhere, and we'd still be able to fit in. So we'll go for this one. Now that actually means... That hasn't quite worked as I thought it would. So this one here, I'm actually going to put... No, not that one. This pump here, I'm actually going to add this tank onto as well. That will mean that all of these are added in fully, and then this one has a spare and this one here has a spare, so we can put a couple of tanks out there if we like, and then daisy chain off those ones as well if we need more space. So I think going for the heat next would probably be the best thing, because we've only got one different type of heat in here that we can use, and I think that maybe 2 of these will work just fine. So why can't this connect to there? If we put it onto here, that's okay. We put that one onto there. So what I want is for this to connect to this pump, but it won't do that. So why is that? I think maybe there's an issue here with the bounding box of the Megaterrarium pumps. However, that does actually work because it's connected to this tank and this tank is connected to this pump. That has actually solved the issues that we have there. So that's okay, I'm going to leave it like that. And with this one, actually, I might move this one over to here so that we've got each of these in the same kind of locations. I believe that should work, but it doesn't look like it is. That's weird. That's working. Is it? No, we've still only got 220. So if we take this one away completely, if we add that, say, onto there, we have 220, and this is adding 220. If we add this onto there, that's now giving a maximum of 440, so that's okay. We can't attach this to a tank, so it'd have to be at the back here. Okay, but yeah, some of these things are working a little bit differently than we are used to, which is throwing me off a little bit. So I think we'll have both of these things over here then, and I will add in a large one of those instead of this one. And is that giving enough? Yeah, that looks like that is giving enough heat. Might not be too much, it's not too much redundancy, but it's okay, it's not too bad. So we will go with a tool station. We'll add that in just there, and we'll probably add another one in over here, but I want to make sure that I've got enough space for some of the foods we're going to need as well. In this little bay here, we're going to want the humidifier. So we have a mega humidifier here. We'll go for one of those. Now this again is going to need 288. So we're actually going to need 2 of these like that, and that will give enough for everything. Now this is where we need to work out if any of the creatures we've added in are purely neutral. But from what I can see here, I can't see any creatures that are complaining. Oh no, we have this one. Fighting congeners. Right, okay. So we can only have one of these in there. The giant Amazonian centipedes. Yeah, okay, dislikes congeners, cannot be housed with myriapods. So we'll just have one of those in there, but other than that, it looks like everything else can work with humid air rather than acidic water. saying it's humid. And we're going to want one of these water canister dispensers as well, just there. So that gives us all of the maintenance we need just in this small area here. Try and keep that limited as much as we can. So now I think we need to add the food in. So before we add the food dispensers in, I actually want to drop this barrier that we have over here. Just to make the game think that the staff have access to everything. As you can see now, all of those warning signs have just changed because we have staff over here that are zoned for this room. And it does actually look like over in this area we do have all of the food that is required for these creatures over here. However, I do want to double up on some of this. We've got a lot of vegetables over here which are needed, and so we definitely will add in a couple more vegetable dispensers over here, and we need some over here as well for this one, just like that. Now over here as well we need some fruit and some live insects, and I think it's always good if you need live stuff to actually have them really close to here so that you can keep the actual culture fed as well as the tank. And it's always good to have overlap with those stuff as well. So we'll go for the live crickets. Remember, if it says live insects up here, then it is actually the live cricket culture which you need. And these need vegetables. There are vegetables right there, so that's good carryover from that as well. And we'll also need some fruit here as well, so we'll grab some. Where's the fruit? There's a fruit dispenser just there, so there's that. We'll need some fruit here as well, so we'll just dot a couple of these around wherever they are needed, just to make sure that we do have them all. Here we need these, but I think if I move this one of them to there, it's still accessible nice and easily from wherever these the staff coming to get these tanks, to feed these tanks, can quite easily get the vegetables from here. But that does mean that we can add in another one of these live cricket cultures just there to feed this tank. Here we're going to need some nectar as well. So we'll get the, where's the nectar? Have a look for that. There's the nectar there. And then here we need the frozen mice. So we'll come into here again. Frozen mice dispenser. There we go. Okay. So is that everything we need? Veg. Live insects. We have the nectar and the fruit. We have the frozen mice here. We have the fruit here, which is essentially right next to the feeding platform for it. And then over here we need the live crickets, we need the vegetables, and we need fruit. So yeah, there is all of the food added in. And I suppose now we should actually get around to doing some of the work with the vegetation. I think first of all I'm going to put all the logs in, and then the caves. And so we've added these trunks in here and a couple of the fallen logs, a couple of the cave systems that we have over here, pipe in this one, and some clay pots and stuff in this one. And that's solved quite a lot of the different errors that we have over here. We just need to put the plant life in now. And we have a few of these, is it vertical grass, I think it's called, and then a bit of a regular normal plant life as well. This tank is actually going to be quite difficult to fill because there's a lot of the plant life needed in here, and there's not a huge amount of space left. So we may have to change things around a little bit in there, but yeah, we'll have to have a look now. So if we have a look at the plant life we can put into here, we can see that this, we need the stuff that can be added in for fresh water. because, for instance, this aloe vera I can't actually fit in anyway. I thought that was a bit... yeah, cannot be placed in freshwater tank. So we're going to need to be a bit more careful with what we do with these. This might need to be a bigger tank by the look of it. Yeah, because we've got these bromeliads which are 2x2. I mean, that'll give what, 5 out of the 18 in total that we need. So no, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. What do we, I mean, we have a lot of different stuff in here. So what we may have to do is actually drop off one of those and one of those. And then we only need 11 and 2. And maybe actually we don't need that one either. So we just get rid of everything in here for now. And we'll try and work this out again. Okay, so we only need 2 cave now and only 4 bogwood. So that does make it a little bit more simple. Because we only need 1 of these pots, which we can put into there. And then with the 4 bogwood, then we can have... maybe we can't, because we will still need... I suppose if we did 2 of these and... oh, actually no, if we just did 1 of these it would actually do both of them, wouldn't it? Oh, whoops. Let's go for Terrarium again. Yeah, so we'll get a fallen log. That's a 1 by 2. And that will actually give us most of what we need. So we take the pots out. We need 1 more bogwood and the vegetation. So yeah, it's a bit more complicated to do with some of these. Especially because none of these add bogwood within themselves. But this large ceremony needs a 3 high. We don't have a 3 high. This large cat palm only adds 1 to a vertical. Yucca tree only adds 1. How big is this? Oh, it's not too big, but cannot be placed in fresh water. So let's do fresh water. So we'll filter out all of that. It's this coconut tree that we'd want, but no, we can't use that. Can't use one of these because not the correct depth. Gonna have to go with lots of this bird of paradise. We actually only need 2, okay. So go for that, and then the rest of it we need a total of 9. So get one of these small logs, just put it at the back there, and that'll get rid of that issue. And then a total of 9, which would be 2 of these, wouldn't it? Yeah, okay, so that's what we're going to have to do. However, this one we're going to have to turn around, and then this one again we're going to have to turn around, just so that they're not sticking out of the glass there. Okay, so finally, yeah, we have this fixed, and we can move these around just so that it's not so uniform later on. I will do that off camera. But yeah, this one will be much easier. Look, we only need 6 of this regular vegetation. I'm actually going to put a flaming lily into there because I think that'll look quite pretty. In this one, again, we only need 6 standard vegetation. Going to grab... no, not one of those because we can't use that. So in this one, we will have some of this, let's say. We've got enough space to be able to add this in. We'll just carpet that with that stuff. In here we need 4 of the vertical grass and 6 regular grass. So again, we'll come into here, we'll have a look. So we are going to need, again, this bird of paradise. And we can probably just carpet this. We'll do it like that. And we've got a couple of little spaces for decor there that we can add in. But that is all of these done now. And we can actually open up this room if we like. But I think for the last thing we want to do today, we'll be adding in some scenery around here and maybe a toilet block as well. So I think we can press play while we're adding the rest of this stuff in, and we can even fast forward it a bit, try and get a few people in here. As you can see, they're already coming through. We're not going to worry about the talks just yet, but I want to make sure our staff can come through and actually feed all of these. We've only got 2 staff in this entire big room at the moment, and we may actually need some more by the time we get everything here fed. As you can see, some more staff are actually coming through, giving them a hand now. So yeah, it looks like we may need a few more staff in here by the end of the time we're playing anyway. We've got the coconut crab, which is something else we can add into this room. It is a terrestrial land crab. And I want to see if there's any others which we have missed out on in here. Well, I have had quite a decent look through. And the only things I can see, like this Christmas tree worm, I don't really know if that is oh no, live inside live corals. Okay, right, okay. So yeah, they are just a regular one, a water based one. But yeah, I've had a look at all the crabs and various different stuff like that, and I can't really see many more terrestrial stuff. So yeah, I think we'll just go for something, one of those, but I'll be fine. But yeah, we're gonna put in, I want to actually add in some of these new different things. So we're gonna go for like an energy drink vending machine, which we've not had before. We'll place that just there. Have a look at this. Oh no, hang on, let's see. You died of loneliness. Paloan dwarf goby. That's one we've had for a long time. That's interesting. That is in this tank over here. That's a shame. We'll have to have a look next episode to see what we can do about this. It might be time to sort the foyer out. For now, however, we will mourn that loss and carry on. And we'll go with let's see what else we have. We have the salad bar, which looks quite interesting. So we're going to place that down there as well. Oh, hang on. We're seeing some issues here. This humidifier is actually being looked at now by someone with a terrible fixing skill. That's the issue with that. So hopefully nothing will die off while you're fixing this. And there you go. Right. Everything is now okay with those. Xavier has leveled up. We're going to have to go with your talking. Okay. Yeah, you're not really that good at that. Are you actually locked into this place? Yes, you are. So we want you to be going for feeding first, and we need to make sure that we focus on your fixing when you level up. That's Seb. Okay, we also have the same problem over here. You are also terrible at fixing, and we hardly have any redundancy over here with this. However, that is now done. That's not too bad, and that will only need to be done every so often. We'll keep an eye on it though, and make sure we try and keep on top of it. Try and keep people with high fixing skill over here as well. So we're going to need a bin over here, definitely. We'll go for the next one there. So we'll go for... There's a bin. Oh, a new bin. That's quite nice. We'll go for a new different type of bin there. We'll also go for a new bin there. Oh, right, yes. Okay, these African snails actually need a lot of plant life. So where is this? This is in this one here. Which is this one here. Oh wow, this is the one we carpeted. And they're just going to eat all of this stuff, are they? Okay, so can we do anything with that? Let me just have a look, see if we can actually fix anything with this. So this is the best we've been able to get in here. This is the most amount of plants we're actually able to fit in. And we still have a 1% chance each day of them destroying a plant. And if they destroy this particular plant here, that's almost all of the plants in the entire thing gone. So yeah, it's going to grow exponentially. As soon as one of these goes, everything else is going to go. So I think we're actually going to have to take one of these giant African snails out of here, just so that we can keep this tank above what it's needed for the plant destruction. I need to keep an eye on some of these as well, make sure that everything is going to be okay with them over the next few days. But yeah, a couple of things I want to add in here between episodes. I'm actually thinking about, let's just do this with you now. We're going to grab some walls and we're going to say, I don't know how big I want this, but it wants to be decently sized. And so we're going to say this area here, this is going to be our reptile house. We have a decent size area there, and we can even bring it a bit further out so that this is a bit of an L shape here, with the standard terrariums with all the different creepy crawlies and bugs and stuff in them. And then this will be a reptile house, which will be a lot more structured, but a lot more dark as well. I want this to be like you're going into a specialised area. All the different reptile houses I've been to, there's a animal park by us called Green Acres Animal Park, and they have this really quite small but very, very varied reptile house. There's reptile house and creepy crawly house, which has got like a petting zoo in it as well, so you can actually go in and handle some of the reptiles and some of the creepy crawlies and stuff if you so wish. I don't particularly want to do that kind of stuff, but people do. So yeah, that's the kind of atmosphere I want to try and put into this. So it's going to be a lot more dark, a lot more gloomy, a lot less light in there. We're going to try and theme it a bit differently to make it seem a lot more dark as well, to make it look like you're walking in from this aquarium into this kind of specialised terrarium house, and then even further down into this reptile house where all the lizards and iguanas and stuff like that are kept. So I think it'll look really cool. I think it will be really nice once it's done. But I need to get the mod installed. I need to test the mod, make sure it works okay, make sure it's not going to crash the game. This is the process I go through with every single new mod that I add, because I've got over 300 mods in here now, just to make sure that everything works well with each other. It should do. It's a Megaterrarium mod, but you never know with these things. If I just add it in and say, yeah, let's work with this, and then suddenly it'll crash the game to desktop and we'll lose all of our progress. But hey, that is it for another episode. We have done everything I want to do for today. I'll add a toilet block into here as well between episodes, stuff like that, make it look a little bit neater. And add the final little benches and stuff we want in as well. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.